He really did it. Wilford did it. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to Sibz, West Coast, East Coast siblings, where we break down your favorite movies and TV shows. Tonight, we're talking Snowpiercer Episode 8. There are only 2 episodes left. March 29th, really not 2 episodes, but a 2-hour season finale coming March 29th. This episode is going to be your biggest takeaways, review, reaction, all rolled into one video. So sit back, relax, guys. There's a lot to go through. There's a lot to break down. Wilford is the man. This dude is a beast. Before we get started, be sure to hit the subscribe button, click the bell, all that stuff. And let's just dive right into it. So, a lot of things went down, including Wilford pretty much fixing a problem he created, Icy Bob being out of commission, Josie being the new Icy Bob. The whole Snowpiercer team took a big L, and Layton is in prison, and Sam is going into cryo. He's the police officer. So let's start off with the big premise of the episode, because you've already seen it. Basically, somebody sabotages the air intake. We find out later that that was Icy Bob, and he's pretty much out of commission. I don't know why they wouldn't send him out there with a suit. You know, Doctors Haywood spend so much time making him what he is, and then they just don't protect their assets. So he goes out there, basically gets himself killed, although he's alive as of the end of this episode. And Josie, I'm starting to suspect, might be coming over to the side of Wilford and Big Alice. It's interesting. We'll pick up on that a little bit later, because he's helping her get her hand back. She sees the Doctors Haywood. It fixed her face. And, you know, she's really grateful. She feels sympathetic. And I think it's going to begin to play at her allegiances, as well as Audrey. And I said this weeks ago, I didn't trust that Audrey would be able to hold herself loyal to the people at Snowpiercer. And it looks like, I mean, unless she's playing some super Jedi mind tricks on Wilford, and she's going to, like, Thanos snap her finger, and then it's going to be like sink into the chair or something like that. She's on his side at this point. She's in the lap of luxury right now. Alex pretty much has gotten kicked to the curb. Wilford's got a new toy now, a new friend, a new lady friend. And Wilford's a beast. What can I say? He took it all over. So he manufactures this entire publicity stunt in which him being the second probably smartest engineer on the train, who actually knows what he's doing, besides Melanie, who's not on the train, he sets it up so that he would come into Snowpiercer. And this is the first time that he's been in that area in 7 years since he, got left by Melanie. He goes there to fix the problem. And of course, you just can't trust a snake. You can't trust him, man. He sabotages something. I knew it was going to happen, but it turns out it was one of Melanie's fixes to the train that she had done on their 5th revolution that overrided his ability to, the ability for the fix to work, basically. It short-circuited the system, and they weren't able to do an override. The engine was basically going to fail in a few minutes. And Wilford goes and fixes the whole thing, gets on the loudspeaker, and announces to the whole train, hey, it's your man, Wilford, the guy whose name is on the train. I just saved the day. And let's remember that the entire train is split right now. The tailies are completely loyal to Layton and Sam and the Resistance. You have the second-class people who are probably a little split, but still mostly, they like Layton, but it's real close. And then all the first-class people, they're all for Wilford, and obviously everyone on Big Alice is for Wilford. They begin fearing. So there was a scene where Sam, the police, the head of the guard on Snowpiercer, his wife Anne was beginning to miss a little bit of her slavery to Wilford, basically. She was starting to miss that, she's like, oh, it was better. They didn't have to worry as much or whatever. And Sam basically says, look, I'd rather die on my knees. Die on my feet than live on my knees. That's a saying. But you can tell that's what a lot of people are thinking. They're just tired of having no peace. They're tired of, not knowing where the next meal is coming from. And they know that Wilford technically didn't do anything wrong to them. For the last 7 years, it's been Melanie who was in charge, putting up a facade as Wilford. So they pretty much hate Melanie, and this makes a lot of sense why, at the end of this episode, they were about 4 hours away from picking up Melanie. It makes a lot of sense why not too many people would fuss about just passing her by, and that's what we ended up seeing. Now, we had thought about that in Melanie's episode, like, okay, there must have been a takeover. Turns out we were right. Wilford is back at the helm. So let's talk a little bit about Josie and her betraying Snowpiercer. Now, obviously, she's super loyal. Okay, she was super loyal all last season. But I noticed something, a change in her demeanor, and I think that it's beginning to happen. The betrayal is beginning to happen. She's betraying her team, Bess, Till, and Ruth, and the gang. And it's because of the time that she spent there, the kindness that's been shown to her. Audrey comes and talks to her a little later, saying, we were both leaders over on Snowpiercer, but this is it's nice to not have that burden where everything's taken care of. We also know she's kind of alienated from Leighton. Leighton's got a baby on the way with Zara, and even though Josie and he and Josie had a thing going on, that thing is over, and Leighton loves his baby. By the way, what was with Leighton crying at the end of the episode? I mean, I know it's tough and it's emotional, but you're tougher than that, man. You're gonna cry anyway. So yeah, the whole team took a big L. We now understand why they weren't there to pick up Melanie, but just. I got it. Hats off. Bravo to Wilford. I don't know why he didn't do this sooner, create a problem and then fix it himself. He kind of waited till the perfect time, though, because the train was right at that, tipping point where he was starting to gain popularity and stuff. Oh, by the way, LJ, she found love interest with John Osweiler, the guy, which is funny. It sounds like a famous person's name. But that's the name of the character. Anyway, LJ and he are now together, I guess. They're buddy. But there's a lot of problems now. But you know who I think the key to solving all of this is going to be? You guessed it, Alex. So Alex is still someone who's semi-trusted. She has allegiance and a little bit of loyalty to Melanie. Now that she sees, and once she finds out more details, she already knows that Icy Bob was part of sabotaging the train. If I were Wilford, and this may be his one flaw, is that he didn't count on Alex betraying him. But once she had found out that Icy Bob was playing dirty games, and that's the reason why the train had the issues that it did, she may turn against him and sabotage him, and she's way too close. If I were Wilford, I'd be like, no, she's got to go, like, now. And right now, it doesn't seem like she's joining him at the front of Snowpiercer. In that last shot we got, she seemed nowhere to be found. So who knows what she's doing, gathering a resistance. Now, I want to talk about how realistic this season finale is going to be. Everything is stacked against him at this point, even to the point where Leighton is literally in handcuffs at the end of the episode. Now, we thought Sam, the captain, the police captain, would be overseeing him, his transition and him being in custody. Turns out Sam, his wife Anne, and their daughter, they're going into cryo. That really hurt. I don't even know why, but they did a lot of character development for him in this episode, and his wife and his family, they had some discussions and stuff. And so to see that at the end, he had sent his daughter up trained to be safe, and they had just straight cryoed that girl. They cryoed his wife, and they go cryo his behind. So basically, they don't want him using up resources. They have their own police. They have their own, and you saw those militant people with the W's on their shoulder at the preview for next week's episode, or the episode of the 29th. I think they're going on a break and then coming back for the 2-hour season finale. I'll mention that in the description below. And we'll talk about it, but I think that's the way it's going down. But yeah, they don't need him, and he would be taking up too many resources, he and his family. So he's going in cryo. But getting back to the realism of any kind of rally by the gang here, slim to none. And what I fear is that this season finale will not be realistic. I mean, look at all the odds stacked against him. Wilford has the people. He's got the train. Wilford is in handcuffs. And the only person who is strong enough and powerful enough, maybe has enough pull to move some things around, manipulate the train, is not on the train. It's Melanie. She's not on the train. And Sam is now in cryo. So it would have to be something crazy with Audrey or Alex, because they are both close enough to Wilford to pull something like that off. Maybe Audrey convinced Kevin to do some kind of crazy last minute double agent stuff. That's their only hope. And even then you have the problem of the people. You heard those people scream, "Wilford, Wilford," when as soon as he got on the intercom. It's going to be a fight. And it'll be the tailies versus pretty much everyone, because it was a split between the second class people, right? And I would assume Wilford saving the entire train would have gotten him at least another 20, 30, maybe 40%, close to all of it, as far as the second class people go. So now you're talking about all the folks at Big Al as first class and second class, all right, against the tailies. Plus you've got Wilford's military. You've got cats like, well, Icy Bob's pretty much down and out right now, but he almost cleared an entire train car by himself with the help of a little nitrogen gas. I think I got that right. I'm not a scientist. I'm a YouTuber. Anyway, but yeah, so that's my big concern is how realistic are these dominoes going to fall? We know it's going to end up with the tailies having a victory, Melanie coming back. We're assuming it's a happy ending. I don't know. Maybe they'll pull a rabbit out of the hat. Maybe they got some tricks up their sleeve. They'll show us something different. But if not, assuming that things end happily, I don't think it could be realistic at this point without, like I said, Alex or Audrey pulling some kind of crazy last minute sabotaging, some serious stuff. But let me know, obviously, what you think down in the comments below. I'd love to chat it up with you guys. I chatted up with you guys all week. This was a crazy episode. Be sure to like the video, subscribe, comment, so we can have this discussion, help grow this community. Snowpiercer is an underrated show. I've really enjoyed it. Don't forget Zach from The Basement with Zach on our sister channel, The Lotta Quente Ledger. He's doing his own coverage. He kind of plays around with theories. It's a little less structured, and it's fun. It's a good time. He's got some crazy theories. So definitely go check his video out. I'll put it somewhere here on the screen and down in the description below. So be sure to check that out. Thank you guys for watching so much as always, and I will see you for that finale. I will also update the description down there with when exactly that season finale is coming. Once again, thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.